Well, good evening there. Welcome to 100% LCFC. My name is Phil, and this is our regular Monday night show, the Fan Zone. Let's get rid of the music there. Let's pop the graphics on and say welcome. It is close season. As ever, with Leicester City, there's more than a few bits and bobs to talk about. We think we've got a bit of hush-hush breaking Leicester have signed a player news, so stay tuned for that. It is a bit of gossip. I've been told by somebody who's told me that it's legit, but it is definitely not out there on Sky Sports before anybody starts saying, well, until I see him hold the shirt up, I won't believe it. So you won't be seeing any of that tonight, but we've been told that Leicester have signed somebody, but it's not been officially announced yet. So it could be a load of bully bull, but we're thinking the source is good. Let's go through the hellos first. Claire Woodward, hello to you. Jonathan Krabby, hi. I form OHL. Not sure what you mean, Jonathan, but hello to you. Richard Wilson, good. Thanks for watching as ever, Richard. Anthony Lowe is watching. Good evening to you. How are you, Anthony? Reese, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for watching. Thanks for the shout out. Sam, nice to see you as ever. Sam Perkins is watching. Mike Jenner, hello from my bed, lol. Mike, are you poorly? Are you just being lazy? Are you chilling? Are you on lates? Mick Paget is saying no sound. Let me know if you have not got sound. Please tell me. We seem to have all sorts of issues with tech sometimes, but if people can hear me, let me know. You're the only one, Mick, saying no sound. John Olive, how are you, John? Jake Dutton, good to see you. Jonathan Krabby, that's nice to see you. To see you nice. Chris Butterley, loads and loads of name shouts out. That is amazing. So many. I've tried to get as many as you in. Rob Grace, how are you? And Franny Eaton, Mick Paget. Whoa. Loads and loads of you, which is absolutely great. There is loads. Somebody saying, please say it's not Grealish. That's Jamie McQuillan saying, please say it's not Grealish. I can confirm the person we are being told has signed for Leicester is not Jack Grealish. The Turkish Messi, Mark Gatwood, yes, we're going to talk about him. Reese is saying that he can hear perfectly. Mick saying that he's got sound. Graham saying sound is okay on Facebook. Yes, we are live, as we have been doing recently. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Periscope, YouTube, you name it, we're trying to be on it. I'm going to stop talking. We want to get your comments in, as many comments as you can get in there. Please like and share the video. That is always appreciated. Thanks as ever to our sponsors. I'm going to get that one in early. You can see them right up there, if I can point in the right place, these guys. Without them, we wouldn't be doing much. But let's bring in, thank goodness I can confirm, breaking news, I can confirm Tom has not got his string vest on tonight, which is a relief. Tom, last time you were on, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you doing all?
Yeah, really good, Tom. So I'm going to tease people a little bit. I'm not going to give it away who I have been tipped a wink for. Somebody's given me a hot tip that Leicester have signed a player, so we will come on to that. Where do we start? The Turkish Messi. How about that one? Do you know, can you pronounce his name?
Can't pronounce his name and never heard of the bloke until it got rumoured that we were after this, the Turkish Messi.
I'm going to say I'm going to say his name is Abdülkadir Ömer. Let's just call him the Turkish Messi.
We'll call him Lionel.
Turkish Lionel. I mean, Tom, he could call anybody the such and such Messi and everybody's ears perk up, isn't it? He's a 18-year-old actually. Plays for some club. He's played for Turkey under 19s, I think. But I think I'm reading 20 million is the asking number. It sounds crazy money.
Of course it is, for a player that we know nothing about, a Turkish delight, like Muzzy as it was. It's always going to be a gamble, but we saw what happened with Muzzy. He came to us an unknown player and he became a great player for Leicester. So if it comes off, let's see what we get from him. But again, is he one that's going to come into the first team, or is he going to be another George Thomas or a Barnes who'll end up playing in the 21s for a couple of seasons till he gets to, know the Premier League?
Okay, well, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it up on the screen. The Turkish Messi. What do people think to that? Let's know what you thought. Reece Taylor's come in. He's making me laugh. He's saying, "Is it Lionel Richie?" I don't know. Are you talking about the Turkish Messi or not? Dale says 3 goals in 30 odd games, not much of a Messi, lol. A few people saying stuff. If you want to come in, by the way, if you want to come in and chat video live, which hopefully a few of you will, I have put the links out there earlier on in some of the chat groups. So do click on that and come through. Hopefully people will join us shortly. So Turkish Messi, we're sort of not believing much in that. Mahrez, let's have a quick chat on Mahrez, Tom. The Man City rumours just keep trundling along slowly but surely.
Is he still in?
He's still here, yeah.
I know, he's dragging on now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love him to stay for another season, but I don't really want all the hassle of another transfer window in January of is he going, is he staying? Look, if it's time for Mahrez probably to leave the club. It's sad to say that. Probably the greatest player to play for the club in theory, up there with a few of the best. Keith Weller, those names, he's going to be up there with that. But it comes to a point now that this has got to be sorted because we don't want it to be dragging on into June, July, and then it only finishes off when the transfer window shuts before the season kicks off. Last thing we want is dragging it till August.
Yeah, I would agree. If he's going to go, a few people here putting some content, some bits down about Mahrez, just saying I think it is perhaps time that he goes. So get your comments in and let us know. Somebody mentioning Drinkwater there. Perhaps we'll come on to Drinkwater in a little bit. Also hearing Tom. Somebody's just joining us, so I'm going to bring in Anthony as well. Like I say, if you want to come in on the links, do just click on the link. Join us. We want to get as many fans in. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Hello.
Can you hear us all right, pal?
Hi. Sorry, I've been having a few network problems, so
that's all right.
A bit later.
That's all right. Can you hear us, Anthony?
Can't hear you at all, Phil.
You can't hear us, all right, Anthony? I think that's.
No,
I think
can't.
I'm going to drop you out. I think that's a problem, Anthony's end. But somebody else has clicked on the link. Bear with us. Reese, can you hear us, pal?
I can hear you, mate.
How are you?
I'm all right, matey. How are you?
Have you got any? Yeah, I'm good. Anything you want to go straight for? It's your time to have a chat.
What's happening with the signings, really? I mean, why aren't we buying any players? I'm getting a bit frustrated at the minute.
We were just talking, Reese, about Mahrez. I think, Tom, you were starting to say, just go, maybe. Let's get it done.
I think you got to. I think the point has come where we need to move these players out who don't want to be at the club. I don't get me wrong, I love Mahrez and thanks for everything, but he's at the point now, we don't need this dragging on. Let's get the money in and let's spend it on players that we need to strengthen the team with for the season ahead. And that's not against Mahrez, but we need money to strengthen, and there is money around, but extra money is always going to be handy to get better negotiations with players and agents.
Yeah, Reese, anything to comment on Mahrez? What's your thoughts?
First of all, I am glad he's moving on. I think he's done his part for Leicester now. I think it's time for him to move on now. I mean, I love the bloke, and I wish he would stay, but I think it is time to move on for him now. But pretty much, yeah.
I'm going to try and drop Anthony back in, see if he can hear us, because we can get 4 of us in. Here's Anthony.
I can hear you guys now.
Fantastic. You've worked out how to switch your volume on your computer, Anthony. Oh, you can't hear us. Can you hear us now, Anthony?
I'm having some problems at my end. Give us a couple of minutes, I'll be back on and hope.
Will do. We'll give you a couple of minutes. You can come back. We want more fans on here. Let's get on to Slimani. I'm quite excited to hear that actually there's some clubs interested in Slimani. Can you believe that, Reese?
Yes, I can believe it because I do think the guy's a good player. I mean, but I just don't think he suits the way we play. We like to play. When he did sign for us, we were playing counter-attacking football, and he's a sort of bloke that likes to hold the ball up, and it didn't suit our system, which is a shame really because I like the player.
Tom, Slimani, I mean, I hear Fenerbahce in Turkey, 20 million are interested, and I didn't actually realise that Slimani is 29 years old, so he's getting. I know we talk about Vardy being 31, but 20 million?
Well, try and recoup as much money as you possibly can from No, I don't think a bad signing on his part. I think his goals to game ratio for Sporting was second to none, and we thought we were going to get someone who's going to score goals, who was a target man. But I think Reece hit the nail on the head. He came with a side that were playing counter-attacking football. He then started the season as, again, a sub-player under Craig Shakespeare in a 4-4-2 where, yes, we were probably getting more crosses in the box, but he wasn't getting game time. We've now moved on to the Claude Puel era. It's very much passing style of game. Again, on the floor, not much high ball into the box, and he doesn't fit any of those systems. And sadly, it's just not worked out for him because I've always backed Slimani, and I can see there is a player who will score you goals if you put the balls into the right areas. But like Reece saying, we don't technically play that kind of football, for him to be able to do that.
Still, Reece could be our plan B for next season, Slimani.
I mean, yeah, it could be. I mean, the downfall is last season, when we sold Slimani and Ajoa, like sent them out on loan, we didn't have a plan B striker. If we were losing a game, we didn't have someone that we could lump the ball up to. And, I think I would still keep him for that.
Anthony, can you hear us now? Anthony. I think there's an issue at Anthony's end. We're going to give up with Anthony tonight. Lads, Maddison from Norwich, let's talk about him. Tom, let's start with you. He's scored 14 goals and got 8 assists, I'm reading from my notes here, for Norwich in the Championship. There's a few clubs in for him. Apparently Leicester, Huddersfield, I think Spurs and Liverpool also sniffing around, but Leicester are rumoured to be the favourites.
I think, for me, over the two players, Maddison and Berger Eilish, as I call him, I'd go for Maddison out of the two. I think he's a better player out of the two. Grealish looks an all right player, but he worries me that he's very hot-headed. I think in the player final you saw moments of brilliance from him, but then you saw the tackle, what he should have been sent off for, because he got frustrated that he wasn't getting the ball as much and things weren't coming off for him. In the Premier League, against the better teams, they'll wind him up. That's what worries me with Grealish, that he'd probably get sent off, where I think Maddison's got a bit more of a head on him. He knows that he'll probably get kicked a bit in the Premier League because he's got that skill to go past players. And do you know what? He'd probably understand that he won't walk into the team in Leicester. He'll have to fight to get that position, and that it will probably make him a better player.
Yeah, Reece, your thoughts on Maddison and Grealish? I think Grealish for 40 million in my books is an absolute joke.
Yeah, I do as well. I don't know where that's come from. In terms of Maddison, does he play on the right hand side? Does he play right mid?
I'm not 100% sure where exactly. I think he does play out on one of the sides.
He plays normally as number 10.
A number 10.
All right. Okay. I was going to say, because I'm thinking, is this the Mahrez replacement? Because if it is, I won't be too happy, because we need to replace Mahrez with a Shaqiri or a Zaha type player, someone that's been there and done it. I don't think we can afford to bring in someone that's inexperienced in the Premier League to replace a world-class player like Mahrez.
Anthony, can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry, I was having some network problems.
That's all right. What? Any thoughts? Let's quickly catch you up on Maddison from Norwich. I mean, Reece is saying, hopefully you heard him there say, Reece saying, if that was a Mahrez signing replacement, he wouldn't be happy.
I think he's more of a central player than a wide player, and I think if we're going to play him centrally, he's going to be a brilliant signing if we sign him. But if we're intending him to be a Mahrez replacement, then I think we're a million miles off, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Tom, would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, I don't see Maddison coming in as a replacement for Mahrez. I think the club will be looking for a stellar signing. If they sell Mahrez, they'll be looking for someone with that, flair and skill who's going to create chances. And I think we probably are way off the mark who we're looking at signing for. I think if the players Claude going to bring in, probably he's going to someone we never heard of in a million years. I don't think he'll be an obvious player from the Premier League, if I'm honest with you. I think he'll be somewhere from France, Germany even. I think he'll be a different type of player to what we're used to.
Okay, I'll tell you, chaps, just bear with me. I'm going to read through. There's so many comments coming in, which is great. If people can keep liking and sharing the video, get your comments in. I'm going to get some people's comments up here on screen. Daniel Harrison is saying Leicester selling on the cheap again. Certainly, if rumours of Jack Grealish being worth 40 million, you start to wonder what's going on. Mark Gatwood saying they're big shoes to fill on the right. So with the critics we have. It's not going to be easy, no way. David Gavin says Maddison is a good player. Philippe Anderson is another player named, quite like Mahrez. Jake says Maddison and Shaqiri would be good buys together. Mick Paget is saying there is no replacing Mahrez, and I know what Mick's saying there. I wonder if you don't even try and replace him. Mark Damon says here Grealish would only get wound up because he's their main player and is targeted. We've got more quality. Yeah, again, I think Mark's got a good point there. A few talking about Zaha coming in. Chaps, I'll bring you in on the Zaha comment. There's not really been any much rumours on Zaha. Tom, start with you. Great player, but
again, he hasn't shown enough for me why you'd go and buy him to replace Mahrez. He didn't have the greatest season last year. He's had a better season this year. He didn't really do it at Man United when he went there for big money. Okay, he was a lot younger then, but I think if you're going to go and get rid of Mahrez, you've got to be looking better than Zaha for me. And I think we all know what Zaha can offer, but you also know that side of him that he's got a really bad reputation for going down in the box too easy, and suddenly that could go against you.
Yeah, Reese, thoughts on Zaha?
I think the price will be too much. I think I saw was it 60, 70 million earlier? I don't think we'd pay the price for someone like Zaha. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think he's a great player, and but I think a bigger club, maybe like Spurs, maybe someone like Chelsea might come in for him. I don't know. I don't think we can afford to buy him, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah, now, Anthony, your thoughts on Zaha in particular? Oh, we've lost Anthony's sound. Keep going, Anthony. I'm going to drop you out, Anthony. Sorry, mate. I hear Dipak from 100% part of the crew back there has said, if Leicester are going to mount a challenge, or are we, in the hamster wheel of building for the future, a future that never comes? And I totally understand what Dipak is saying there, because he's talking about the fact that, and I've said it before, people like Puel won't be given very long. If things start to go wrong, I don't think he's going to be given. If we have a bad start to the season, he might even find his job under threat. So it's going to be really hard to, building for the future is a hard game, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, of course it is. And for me, I've taken a lot of flack in the last probably 3 months for sticking up for Puel, even when we were playing not the best, because I could see what he's trying to do. He's now getting the pre-season what I'd hoped he would have got. He's now brought in one player, what I think is a very exciting right wing-back kind of style, what Puel plays. He plays attacking fullbacks. He wants the fullbacks to, bomb on and create havoc. That's what he wants to do. We are now trying to do that and bring in the players he wants. Also, you've got to look at the squad. There's a lot of dead, wood around. He needs to move on. One with Huth, thanks for everything, but time was up. You can't have people like Huth hanging around the football club, on paychecks. Ben Ilawan's another one for me. Let's offload him. Let's get the pay structure better. You go and spend money then on buying centre-halves who are up and coming. We're talking about the young Brazilian kid possibly coming in from Barcelona. You go and get Dragovic, because I think Dragovic did enough over the time to show that he was a solid centre-half. And then you build on what the core of the squad is. And there is a good core there for me, that you keep Schmeichel. You've got Fuchs who can teach Chilwell a bit better. You then look at maybe a bit more of an experienced winger to come in and help after Mahrez goes, maybe. You've got Gray, you've got Diabate. The potential's there. For me, we've got a very strong midfield three if we can get them in together in Silva, Iborra and in Didi. That is a very strong midfield if you can play them all together and then get your wing backs bombing on. So the future's bright, and it's just going to take time. And yes, he will be under pressure, but I think as fans, now we know he's staying. We've just got to back him that first game of the season. You've got to back him. Don't get on his case if things don't work out that quickly. It's going to take time. I've said all along, Puel, it can be a frustrating manager, but I think if you look at his record for the second season, he's always had a better second season once he's had time to bring his own players and build a team.
Yeah, Reece, your views as well.
Is it Tom's hit the nail on the head there? Absolutely spot on. I mean, look, I was looking back at what he'd done with Lille. They had no stadium, no players, no money, nothing. He had to bring in academy players to get through seasons. And he got on mid-table 2 seasons. Then he got Europa League with them. Then he beat Manchester United in the Champions League. I mean, it just shows you if you give the bloke time and money. I mean, look what he can do.
Right, now, good, yeah. I'm going to tell you who I've been hotly told Leicester have bought. So this is going to go down on video. You're laughing, Tom, because you know this is risky saying it, but I've been told that Leicester have signed Johnny Evans for £3 million. Now that's who I'm being told we've signed. It's not official yet. You won't read it on Sky Sports or anywhere, but that is what I'm hearing. Somebody's come out and told me that. Tom, what are your thoughts if that is true? And we have to say we have got no facts apart from somebody's told us. What do you think, Tom, to Johnny Evans?
So the butcher told you, did he, Phil?
No, it was the butcher's wife.
Do you know what? If we've gone and got Johnny Evans, for me, it's another half decent signing at the back. It's not spectacular because he got a team relegated last season. It concerned that we've gone and got another centre half who went down, but we didn't do bad with Harry Maguire. But I think it's that experience you want to try to keep. If we're talking about looking at Morgan going for £6 million, you're breaking the team up that won the league, but you need to try and keep some, British, English talent who played in the Premier League around the core. And Johnny Evans, he's done it at the highest level at the end of the day for Man United for many seasons. So it's a good signing for me if that's true, Phil.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. The butcher's wife's told me that. Reese, what do you reckon? Johnny Evans? I hear it's done. I hear £3 million.
Yeah.
This is really what I've been told. Leicester have signed him for £3 million. There's up to £6 million worth of add-ons for agents' fees and performance-related bonuses.
Yeah, even with those add-ons fees, it still feels like a bargain. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. I think that to me seems that Morgan's going because I think he's the experienced one at the back, and I think that's who Johnny Evans is coming in to replace. And I think with you mentioned Maguire, Tom, about with Morgan next to him, that I think Morgan let him down a little bit last season and cost us goals. Really, I think with Evans, he's got more experience. He's a better defender than Morgan. I think he'll help Maguire get better at his game as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that sign. £3 million. That's chips, really, isn't it?
It would seem bonkers a bit, Tom, wouldn't it, if we were about to sell Wes Morgan for reports of £6.5 million to Stoke, and yet we were about to pick up a defender to effectively replace him for £3 million. That'd be some great business, wouldn't it?
That'd be brilliant business. Just going back to a point, I think you've got to look at the team when we were getting the clean sheets just after Christmas. We got 6 clean sheets out of 7, I think it was. Okay, one of them was against Fleetwood Town. But in that period, the back four was Maguire and Dragovic. The team looked more balanced at the back with them two at the back, and Maguire seemed more calm on the ball. I think, don't get me wrong, Wes Morgan's a legend. He's a captain that won as a Premier League, but he's not looked good for the past probably season and a half. He's looked very shaky at times, possibly get caught out positions, and he hasn't got that pace to recover now. It's all right, being positioning sense most of the time, but if that 10% you get caught out against Newcastle at home, dare I say it, the ball drops over his head and Perez lobs Casper into the back of the net. There was no talk between Maguire and Morgan then. I think it's time the club maybe shake things up a little and move some of the squad out that won the league. Things don't ever last forever, and like I said before, the dream ended. It's now to try to build something for the future and build a new dream.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to read out a few comments now, but I'd like to say, Tom, I totally agree. I'd love us to get Dragovic signed up. Here's some of the fans' comments. Mark Gatwood is saying we still need another quality centre-back. Well, I'm hearing it is Johnny Evans. I'll come on to some of the things. Lewis Brown is saying one defender can't keep a team up. Elliot is saying how reliable is the source? I'm only believing what he's going on, but he says he knows and he's been told. Michael Payne is calling BS. You could be right, Michael. You could be right. I'm only telling you what I've heard. The guy said he didn't mind us saying that we'd heard it. Darren is saying worth a punt at that price. Mark says 3 million, drop the 4 million agency fee slightly, I bet. Gareth saying I don't think Evans is that great. Here's an interesting one. Anthony Lowe is saying the Sun is reporting a 4 million agent fee for a 3 million switch, so maybe the Sun are starting to report it as well. Mick Paget is agreeing with probably Tom, saying I'd rather have Dragovic. Nathan saying, referring to Johnny Evans, I assume is massively better than Morgan. Mark saying Evans is a very good ball-playing defender and chips in with goals. His experience will help to develop Harry. Can't moan at 3 million, says Leon. Lewis says get Dragovic in. Reading some people saying sign Ibora. What are you on about? We have signed Ibora. Liam is saying could Johnny Evans even be captain? Chris is saying can't find the link. Chris, go. Yeah, I can't do it while we're live out here, but I've put it out there. It's in the 100% LCFC chat group and a couple of other sites. So please go and find it, Chris. Steve saying if we've signed Evans, I can't see Dragovic signing, which is interesting. And Mark is saying wasn't Dragovic leaving if Puel stayed? I think there was lots of rumours about that. Chaps, a fairly positive response, I'd say, there to that talk that Johnny Evans is signing for Leicester. Tom?
Yeah, I think you have to be positive. I mean, like I said earlier, you know, the era of Morgan and Huth has come to an end, and you've got to try and progress, and you can't replace them with kids all the time, because we all know that that's where you come unstuck, having too many young kids in a football team at this league level. So, you know, bringing in someone at Evans, 30, 31 possibly at the max, I think it's a good bit of business for 3 million if that's the cost for him.
Yeah, a bit like Robert Huth, Reece. He could come in and do a job for a season or two, couldn't he, Johnny Evans?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was just thinking when you were reading the comments out, why couldn't we try a back three of Maguire, Evans, and Dragovic? I think that would be a good shout.
Tom,
I think that'd be a really good shout.
Tom's nodding his head to that sort of formation.
3-5-2. I think you've gone and signed your wing back in Ronaldo Pereira, or you pronounce it.
I believe we're going for Pereira, aren't we?
Pereira, you know, you've signed an exciting attacking fullback or wing back he can play. You can then look at Fuchs, who could play that wing back if we have to. We all know he can put a ball into a box. You've got Chilwell, who can play that position bottom, but he's got to pick up his ability to offer more in the final third when he does get into those positions. And like I said before, you've got that three-man midfield already there to play that. In Ibora sitting and Silva and Diddy playing around him, and then you've got Vardy with another striker up front, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Gatwood's come in here saying you need a backbone of experience and fast quality players around them, which Johnny Evans would slot in there, wouldn't it? I mean, Harry Maguire has looked better and better and better, and I'm going to go on the fact that he's not going to go this summer. I know if he has a stonking good World Cup, people are going to be talking about it, but I think Johnny Evans does need a bit of support in there. I'm fearing that Dragovic isn't going to sign for us because of what happened towards the back end of last season. If I was him, I think I'd have to think twice about signing for us after being on the bench, if I'm honest. So a couple more fans' comments here saying, Richard Wilson saying, I read today that a new manager was playing 3-3-3-1. That's interesting. Reese is saying, who's everyone wanting to sign? Hope Maguire stays, he's class. Which he is, which we're all saying that, aren't we? 10, before we go, we've not got long left. 10 Leicester players have been confirmed to be playing in the World Cup, chaps. Benalawan's been confirmed today, as has Pierre. Oh, I could say it earlier, now I've lost it. Ricardo Pereira. Denmark, obviously, Kasper. Okazaki's made Japan. We know about the England lads. And all three from Nigeria, Musa. Thank you. And Iheanacho. Yeah. So 10 players. So we've got 5 different World Cup teams we can be cheering on this time, Tom.
I mean, it just shows you how far the club's come in since the last World Cup. I think the way to look at it, since the last World Cup, we didn't have anyone. This World Cup, we're going out there with 10 players, going for 3 or 4 different nationalities, and it just shows you how far we've come in the space of 4 years. I think that's the way to look at that.
Yeah, Reece, you looking forward to the World Cup?
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait for another disappointment of England. I'm not hopeful, lads. Not
Reece,
hopeful.
come on, I'm not being funny. If any set of fans should be positive and looking forward to World Cup for England, it is Leicester City fans, because we must all. I can't wait for the World Cup, because I know, especially after Leicester's heroics at 5,000 to 1, there's every chance that England, with a team of youngsters. I actually like what Southgate's doing. I think he's talking a good game. He's looking after the players well. I'm not saying he gets it perfect, and a lot of Leicester fans are grumbled because Vardy doesn't get game time or this and that. But I think he is going to play Harry Maguire, and I think Jamie Vardy's going to get a shot here and there, and could make a big impact difference. So for me, Reece, I've got a real sneaking feeling England could get to the semis at least. You never know. And you're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand, but I don't like the squad he's picked. I mean, why is Trent Alexander on? I know he's had a good season. I understand that, but he's had no caps. He's had no friendly experience. Why don't we? Why for me, there's no creativity in the midfield. Why doesn't he take someone like John Joe Shelby or Jack Wilshere? I think there's no creativity there for me.
Because Jack Wilshere gets injured all the time, and John Joe Shelby's a red hot idiot at times. You know, a maverick, and this guy, you know, for Liverpool's just had the season of his life. Is on top form. Played in the Champions League final. I think Southgate's effectively picked players who are doing well at the moment, hasn't he, Tom?
I think if you looked at it, the squad from 4 years ago to the squad now, it's much younger. It's the way that the way that it should have gone. It had to go from every year we'd take experienced players and fail to something a bit more bright and cheerful, and that we've got youth on our side, and hopefully that youth with the extra legs can get around some of the older teams. It's nice to see as we're not going to go there playing 4-4-2. Hopefully we'll play this 3-5-2 with a wing backs attacking again, a bit like Leicester probably doing next season. And do you know what? We can grumble about Vardy not starting. We can grumble about other players not in that team. I think if you looked at the weekend, he put Welbeck on to see what Welbeck will do with Kane. He already knows what Vardy can offer him. So let's not risk him getting injured before the World Cup. I think the rumours are he's going to play Kane and Vardy on Thursday night against Costa Rica. So let's see how they get on then and, judge it on that performance. I'm not expecting Vardy to start the first game in the World Cup. What you probably see is he might start the second game against, Ben Lawan, because he knows where he can do Ben Lawan if he plays him.
Yeah, I think Vardy, I think, will come into it when we play the better teams. People like Belgium, and if we were to qualify, hopefully through, and you start to play some tougher teams, Vardy will get more space and beat that last 20, 25 minutes. That's when I think that's when I would play Vardy. I'd play him against the better teams when they're tiring and you've got to get that ball over the top. That's me anyway. A few people just put on there, by the way, chaps, there's actually 11 Leicester players going because one of our under 23 players has been called up for Nigeria.
Who's that?
I do not know. So apparently that's what a couple of fans have just said, that there's now 11 Leicester City players going. One of the under 23s from Leicester City has been called up for Nigeria. Anybody help us out with some comments on that? Let us know. So that would be even better, wouldn't it, if there's 11? Obviously, yeah, England are playing on Thursday. Next Monday, we'll regather. We'll talk about transfers, see what's happening. It'll probably quieten down a little bit, won't it, chaps, for transfers during the World Cup, would you expect, Tom?
I think it will and it won't. I think you've got to understand this transfer window is a lot shorter because the transfer window shuts before the first league game of the season this year. So it doesn't go all the way to the end of August. So business has to be done before the first ball's kicked to the season. So there'll be none of this through the whole of August who's going to be staying. So I can see there being quite a bit of business still being done over the summer period. Even with the World Cup being played, I think you'll probably see more of the business from the players who aren't at the World Cup than are at the World Cup, because the ones who are out there aren't going to be able to go and do much negotiations.
Liam has come on and said it's Joshua DeBayo, under 23s, lads. Well, thanks for that, Liam. That's good. If we've got 11 at the World Cup, I believe we've got more players at the World Cup than Man United and Liverpool, haven't we? And Spurs, which is pretty tidy. Anyway, Tom, thank you for joining us. Reece, thank you for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
I'm just
Cheers,
going
mate. Thank you.
I'm going to read out a few of the last comments, and as ever, if you can like and share the videos, that'd be brilliant. Reese is saying we need to get a good left back. Mark is saying Rudkin is someone that closes contracts in on time. Drinkwater, says Gavin, would be in the England squad if he was still at Leicester. I think you're quite right there. So the big news we're hearing tonight, just to recap on that, is we have heard a whifter that we have signed Johnny Evans. I don't think it's out there officially. I know it's not, but that's what we're hearing for 3 million. Who knows? It might be true, might not be true. You can take it with a pinch of salt. My name's Phil. This is 100% LCFC. If you can like and share the video, we'll see you every Monday right here on 100% LCFC. What you're still watching for? Go on. Go and watch Coronation Street or something. See you later.